Hi everyone, and welcome back to CCC English, where you learn real life English that you can go out and start using from today. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and share my videos to your friends. I'm really excited about today's lesson. So today we're going to be looking at some intensifying adverbs. So adverbs are words usually ending in ly. Okay, so an example could be slowly, quickly, okay, things like that. If something is intensifying, you're adding more focus to that, okay? Because sometimes when we speak, we need to really maybe put a bit more focus on one word. So I'm going to give you some examples so we can start to see how we use intensifying adverbs. So the first one is highly unlikely. Just repeating, highly unlikely. Fantastic. So if something is highly unlikely, it's not really possible. Okay? So I'll give you an example. In Australia, it's quite hot at the moment. So I can say it's highly unlikely that it's going to rain tomorrow. Okay? Because it's so hot today. Okay, another example could be the lottery. Okay, so winning the lotto. So you can say it is highly unlikely that I'm going to win the lottery this week. Okay, because it's not really possible, to win that often. So or at all. So it's highly unlikely that I'm going to win the lotto this week. The next one we're going to look at is highly recommended. Okay, again, highly recommended. Just repeating. Good. If something is highly recommended, it means that you should do something, okay? Or people think that you should do something. I'll give you an example. When you learn English, it's highly recommended to write down any new words that you learn, okay? So when learning English, it's highly recommended to write down any new words that you learn, okay? So then you can go back and study them later. Okay, another example could be maybe in a question. So before we go on to the question, we have a very famous place a very famous park in Perth called Kings Park. So when you come to Perth, it's highly recommended that you visit Kings Park, okay? So in your country, can you highly recommend any places? So where is a place that you highly recommend that I visit in your country? Okay, the next one is highly effective. Okay, again, highly effective. Just repeating. Okay, if something is highly effective, it is very, very useful. Okay, so an example could be if you go to the beach, so using sunscreen is highly effective, okay, so that you don't get burnt or any skin damage. Okay, and once again, when learning English, it is highly effective to write down any new words that you learn. In a lot of businesses and companies, advertising is very, very important. So we can say advertising is highly effective in order to get more customers. Okay, the next one we're going to look at is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Just repeating. Good, excellent. So if something is absolutely ridiculous, it's not true or not possible, okay? And also not good news, okay? So I'll give you an example. If someone thinks that you stole something or you took something from someone else, okay? And then they went to you, oh, you took my bag or you took my phone. And you can say, oh, that's absolutely ridiculous, okay? I didn't take anything. Okay, another example, I often use Donald Trump in my examples. So we can say, it's absolutely ridiculous that Trump is going to get re-elected, okay? Or something like that. It's absolutely ridiculous how Donald Trump wants to become the next president again. All right. Another intensifying adverbs is absolutely devastated. Okay, just repeating, absolutely devastated. Okay, so absolutely devastated, this is really bad news, okay? So just before we get onto this one, the letter V, okay? Your teeth are on your bottom lip, so devastated, okay? Just again, devastated. So with the pronunciation of the V, your teeth are on your bottom lip, like that. So an example for this one could be about war, okay? The war. So you can say, I was absolutely devastated when I heard the news, okay, about the war. Okay, so absolutely devastated, we often use this for really bad news that you hear. The next one we're going to look at is absolutely convinced. Okay, again, absolutely convinced. So, if you are absolutely convinced about something, you're really sure about it. Okay, an example for this one is, I am absolutely convinced that if you use the new words you learn, you will improve your English. Okay, so when you learn new words, you have to use them. Okay, when you speak to people or communicating with people. Okay, so we don't just write the words, put it in the book and never use it. We have to use the new words that you learn, okay? So I'm absolutely convinced that if you use the new words that you learn, you will improve your English. Okay, another example, we could say, we often say, I'm absolutely convinced that, and then you say what it is, okay? So I'm absolutely convinced that Donald Trump will not be re-elected, okay? Or I'm absolutely convinced that Trump will be re-elected, okay? All right, the next one we're going to look at is absolutely miserable. Again, absolutely miserable. Okay, this is the final one for today. Absolutely miserable. This means your feeling is very low, very down, very depressed, okay? So you're feeling not good at all. So an example for this one could be, John was absolutely miserable when he broke up with his girlfriend. Okay, so if your feeling is absolutely miserable, your feeling is very low, very down, very sad. Okay, thank you guys. I hope you found those intensifying adverbs useful. And remember, try to use it or you will lose it. Good work, guys, and I'll see you in the next lesson.